Okay, today's lesson, we are in Module 1, Lesson 6, and today we will learn how to compare decimal fractions to the thousandths using like units and express comparisons with greater than, less than, and equal to. Okay, we have a couple of fluencies. We're going to do the rename the units. This is a review of units from last year that you should have learned. So from last year, we should remember that 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So if 100 centimeters equals 1 meter, then 200 centimeters equals 2 meters. And 700 centimeters would have to equal 7 meters. Good. Our next one, notice they changed it up. Now we have 750 centimeters, and we're looking for meters and centimeters. Well, in the previous, we already know that 700 centimeters is 7 meters. So don't we see 700 again? Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and put that 7 meters in there, which gets rid of it. So how many centimeters would be left? 50. So I know that 750 centimeters will be 7 meters, 50 centimeters. Okay, just a quick way to decompose. Okay, let's get to our concept. Our concept today is pretty simple. We are comparing. Remember, when we compare, we either need the greater than symbol, the less than symbol, or the equal to symbol. What helps us remember which is which is whenever you see the amount first, that's greater. Think about it this way. We normally always want to eat what's bigger. I prefer to eat a double cheeseburger over just a cheeseburger, or a king size Snickers over just a regular Snickers. So remember, we normally want to eat what's bigger. So if the mouth is first, that's greater than. If the mouth is towards the back, that's going to be less than. You can look at it as this is the small side, that's the big side. The big side is first, greater than. The small side is first, less than. And of course, we know what equal means. Okay, when comparing whole numbers, I always teach line them up. So for this problem, notice they're already in the same form. We got standard, standard. So I can line these up and compare them. So I'm going to keep my first number on top, and I'm just going to copy this one under it. So we need a 6, a 9, a 2, comma, 3, 1. We're going to start with the greatest place value and start comparing. Remember, if they're the same, it doesn't help us. So anything that's the same, we're going to cross it out and move to something else till we find something different. So looking at our numbers, we see that 1 in the 10,000s place is the same, so it doesn't help us. 3 in the thousands place is the same, so it doesn't help us. The hundreds place has different digits, so that's what's going to help me. I'm going to start with the digit that's on the top, and I read from top to bottom. I know that 1 is less than 2. So that tells me what symbol to use. And remember, that small side has to be first if I need less than. So, recap. The 1 in the 10,000s place was the same, so it didn't help me. The 3's in the thousands place are the same, so they don't help me. I had to go to the hundreds place where they're different, and the hundreds place told me that 100 is less than 200. So I put my symbol less than. Review from 4th grade. Okay. Now we're going to compare decimals. Notice that we've started this year using a lot of decimals. We're really decimal heavy in 5th grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by showing you on the place value chart. But basically, we're still just lining them up. So the place value chart is going to help me line up my digits, because I need the ones place to be with the ones place, the tenths place to be with the tenths place, the hundreds place to be with the hundreds place. So starting with my first number, I need 0 in the ones, decimal, 0 in the tenths, 1 in the hundreds, 2 in the thousands. There's my first number. Now for my second number, I need 0 in the ones, 0 in the tenths, 0 in the hundreds, 2 in the thousands. The same steps we did on the previous problem, we're going to do on this problem. Remember, if the place value has the same digit, that does not help me. So in the ones place, we have 2 zeros, which are the same, doesn't help us. The tenth place has 2 zeros, which are the same, so it doesn't help us. The hundredths place has different digits. That's what's going to help us. Remember, we start at the top and read down. I know that 100 is greater than 200. So now here I have my problem set up already. And I know that 1 in the hundredths place is greater than 0 in the hundredths place. So there's my symbol. Okay. Let's try another one with the place value chart. Let's say we want to compare okay, I'm going to start by lining them up on my place value chart. In the ones place, I need a 0. In the tenths place, I need a 4. Hundredths place, I need a 6. Thousandths place, I need an 8. So far, all I did was put my digits in their place value. Now I need to do the same thing for my second number. Starting with the 0 in the ones, a 4 in the tenths, a 9 in the hundredths, a 1 in the thousandths. Starting with my greatest place value. Remember, if they're the same, that does not help us. So looking at the ones place, they're the same, so it doesn't help us. Moving to the tenths place, they're the same, so it doesn't help us. Hundredths place is different. The hundredths place tells me that 6 is greater than 9. So when I set my problem up, and that is not how I set my problem up. Let me come off the chart. Set my problem up. My first number, 468 thousandths, and I'm comparing it to 491 thousandths. As we said on the chart, we know that 6 is greater than 9. So I put my greater than symbol, remember? Oops, I put the wrong symbol. And I said the wrong thing. In the real world, 6 is less than 9. So I need the less than symbol. Remember, my smaller side is first when I need less than. Because 6 is less than 9. Okay. Now we're going to compare. Notice what's different about this one. Instead of standard form, they gave me fraction form. Can I write my fraction form in standard form? Absolutely I can. So I'm going to start by writing 299 thousandths in standard form. That denominator of 1,000 tells me I need 3 decimal places. Magically, I have 3 numbers at the top. So all I have to do is write those numbers in the 3 decimal places. 3/10, my denominator is tenths, which tells me I need 1 decimal place, which I have 1 digit at the top. So I just simply write that digit in that place value. There's my comparison problem. So I'm comparing 299 thousandths to 3/10, starting with my place value chart. I'm going to line them up. So I need 2 in the tenths, 9 in the hundredths, 9 in the thousandths. For my second number, I need 3 in the tenths. Okay. They do not have to be even, but if you're somebody who works better with them being even, just add placeholders. Now the numbers look even. 3 digits, 3 digits. Okay? Remember, we started our greatest place value. If they are the same, it doesn't help us. So starting in the tenths place, they are not the same, so this place value will help me. And I know that 2 is less than 3. So because 2/10 is less than 3/10, I'm going to write my less than sign. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to move on to ordering from least to greatest. Once again, lining them up is a very important part in ordering and comparing. It gets all of your place values together. When you line them up, all of your ones are in the same place, all of your tenths are in the same place, all of your hundreds are in the same place, all of your thousands are in the same place. So for this one, I'm going to line them up. So, all I'm doing is copying. 0, 5, 6, 1, 6, 4. Now they're all lined up. All of my ones are together. All of my tenths are together. All of my hundreds are together. All of my thousands are together. So now I'm going to go through and I'm looking for the smallest digit. So starting in my ones place. They all have zeros, which we said does not help us if it's all the same. So that moves me to my tenths place. Notice my tenths place, every one of them has a different digit. So this one place value is going to give me my whole order. So because I'm starting with the least, I want the number that's the smallest. Well, looking at this row, I know that 0 is the smallest. So this is going to be my smallest number. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to get rid of it because I've already used it. So now all I'm looking at is the 4, the 1, and the 5. Well, I know that the 1 is now the smallest. So here's my next number in the order. So I'm going to copy it and cross it out. So all that's left is my 4 and my 3. I know that 4 is smaller than 5. I think I said 3, but I meant my 4 and my 5. And I know 4 is smaller than 5. So I copy it. This is my next number in the order. Cross it out, which leaves my last number to be the greatest. So I'm going to copy it at the end. And I now have my order from least to greatest. I can check it real quickly. I know that 0 tenths is less than 1 tenth. I know that 1 tenth is less than 4 tenths. I know that 4 tenths is less than 5 tenths. The tenths place gave me my order from least to greatest. Okay, let's look at another one. Once again, I'm going to line these up. Give myself some more room. Okay, so we got 27 and 5 thousandths, 29 and 4 hundredths, 27 and 19 thousandths, 29 and 5 tenths. Notice everything is lined up. So I have the tens with all the tens, the ones all together, the tenths all together, the hundreds all together, the thousands all together. Notice 2 of my numbers are not the same length. Easy fix. Simply add a placeholder to make them have the same number of digits. So I'm going to put a 0 in the thousands place. I'm going to put a 0 in the hundreds place, a 0 in the thousands place. Now they all have the same number of digits. I'm ready to compare. Starting in my greatest place value. Notice they all have 2, so that doesn't help me. Moving to my ones place, 2 of them have 7, 2 of them have 9. So this place value will help me. It won't completely give me my order, but it'll tell me what 2 to look at first. Well, because I'm going least to greatest, I want to look at the numbers that are the smallest. So the smallest are the 7s. So I'm only going to focus on the 7s right now. So these are the only 2 numbers I'm focusing on. Okay? So we know that the 2 7s are the same, so I'm going to move to the tenths. We know that the 2 zeros are the same, so I'm going to move to the hundreds. Those are different. And I know that 0 is smaller than 1. So my first number has to be the one with this 0. 2, 7, and 5 thousandths. Once I get rid of that, my next one has to be the other 7 number. Remember, we were only looking at the 27s. If this 27 was the smallest, then that means this next one has to be second in line. 27 and 19 thousandths. Now that those two are gone, we are now looking at the two 29s. Okay? We've gotten rid of the two 27s. We're now looking at the two 29s. We'd already said that the twos were the same. Moving to the ones place, the nines are the same. Moving to the tenths place, we got a 0 and a 5. And we know that 0 is less than 5. So my third number has to be 29 and 400s, which leaves my greatest number to be 29 and 5/10. So my order, remember, first thing we did was line them up. Lined my decimals up to get all of my place values together. Then we went through, we got rid of this place value because they were all the same. My ones place helped me, but it didn't tell me everything I needed to know. The ones place told me to look at the 2 with the 7 first. So I ignored the 29s and I only focused on the two 27s. Well, I got rid of the 7s. I got rid of the zeros. My next place value told me that the 0 is less than the 100s. So the 0 went first, my 1 went second. Then I went back and focused on my 29s. Well, remember, the 2s were the same, the 9s were the same. So when I got to the tenths, I knew that the 0/10 was less than the 5/10. So my 0/10 went third and my 5/10 went last. So there's my order. Okay, my next one. Who remembers the first step? If you said line them up, you are exactly correct. I'm going to line my decimals up. So we got 119 and 177 thousandths, 119 and 173 thousandths, 119 and 78 thousandths, 119 and 18 hundredths. Notice my last number does not have the same amount of digits, so I'm just going to put that placeholder. Now they have the same number of digits. Starting with my greatest place. They all have ones, so that doesn't help me. My next place value, all ones, doesn't help me. My next place value, all nines, doesn't help me. My next place value, that helps me. It tells me that my 0 is the smallest, so it has to go first. So I copy 119 and 78 thousandths. I can get rid of that. So now I'm only looking at these three. Okay? Remember, they all started with 119, so we don't have to go back and look at those. So now I'm back at the ones. The ones are all the same, so that doesn't help us. Now we have a 7, a 7, and an 8. Doesn't tell me exactly what I need to know, but it narrows my focus. I know that 7 is smaller than 8, so I need to focus on these two. Okay? So I'm ignoring the 8 right now. I'm only focusing on these two. They are the same. So I got a 7 and a 3. I know that 3 is smaller than 7, so here's my next number in the order. So we got 119 and 173 thousandths. And because I was focusing on the two 7s, that means this 7 had to be the next number in the order. 119 and 177 thousandths, which left my 8 in the hundreds to be the largest. So there's my order from least to greatest. That's our lesson for today. Remember, we learned how to compare decimal fractions to the thousandths using like units and express comparisons with greater than, less than, and equal to. Until next time.